I got you. Oh. Okay. I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for letting me help out some of your classmates with makeup work. We had a lot of people absent here and there, so it really helps their grades out. Good job, guys. Last night's homework was numbers 3 through 10. What do you notice? Oh. Remember how yesterday? Thank you. I was saying that maybe they would write the problems in an easy way. They were like, no. They dove in the deep end. They said, can you do it? Will you do it right? This was the dangerous form to these problems, but it's also the form that the pre-cal kids get all messed up. Because as soon as they see a squared, they want to ignore the table. My pre-cal kids, they want to ignore the table, they want to ignore the distribution, and they want to say, x squared plus 64, done! And I say, wrong. Why?
Because it's wrong.
Why?
Because it's x squared plus 64.
So let's go to the opener.
Wait, plus.
How were you supposed to? I need to go back a few pages. Let's go find those problems you did at the beginning of class today. These ones. How were you supposed to do this?
Rewrite.
Okay, rewrite is one way. So if you rewrite, if you were to actually think of what this truly is, it'd be 3x plus 4.
3x plus 4.
And what's the only right way? Well, there are two different methods, but what do you have to do 3x plus 4 times? Distribute. Either with a table or with the arrows, right? Jeremy, we good? You at the table or the arrows? What mine?
For homework, I did arrows.
You did arrows?
In general, I do arrows.
Okay, so I'm going to do the table for this one because there's a lot of big numbers and I think some of us might get confused. So let's do the table just because, and I'll do arrows on the next one. So if we do the table, did you guys get the proper fill-in for this box? You see it? It's so easy. It's so easy to mess up. Some people just say 3x squared. Some people would say 6x squared, but the proper one is 9x squared.
Yeah.
I know, but a lot of brains do it. It's not just yours. 3 times 3. 3 times 3. An AP calculus kid that gets A's on everything, and yet he messed up a multiplication. It was like 2 times 10 was 11 or something. It's easy. Our brains make mistakes. Careful. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. What'd you guys get for these two?
Oh, so it's totally that's wrong.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
You might have just made the pre-calculus mistake, which is, I mean, commendable. Other people do it too. But we got to make sure we get it right. So when we go ahead and put this all, well, hold on. The arrows would have worked too. That would have been 9x squared, and that would have been 12x and 12x and 16. They're all positive. So all we have to do is put them all together. Did you guys get 9x squared plus 24x plus 16? What did you get, Andrew? How close did you get?
I don't know.
No, what did you guys go? I'm just curious.
I got, well, just a reminder, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I got, I did the first step. I did 3x plus 4 and then the 3x plus 4.
Yeah.
And then I just solved that. I just put 3x to the 2 plus 16.
Okay. So what you did is you forgot that you had to distribute everything. So you forgot the outside and the inside. So you just did the first and the second, and then you did a mistake. Like actually, I saw a couple people make it yesterday. When you were multiplying these two guys together, you did the x and x is x squared. You just forgot that 3 times 3 is 9.
Yeah.
So you made 2 little mistakes.
And I forgot the 24x and the plus.
But does it make sense if you distribute, it'll show up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either show those arrows, because your brain, you just caught what could be made. We had someone say 6x squared. We had someone else yesterday say 3x squared also. And you forgot the outer and the inner. We have to make sure we have all of our pieces. Now, guys, if you make a table, would you ever leave a box blank?
I mean, honestly, because of the mistake I just made, I probably would.
Oh, you think you would?
Yeah.
But I think it would be harder, though, right? Because aren't you getting to where you know you fill in the whole table?
Yeah.
So maybe the table's a little safer. Maybe. But I don't know. Some of you love the arrows, and so keep doing it as long as you just make sure that you get every single piece. Kayla.
When you're writing the table, do you do, like say, it's like 3x plus 4, so you put it next to each other, like the whole thing together?
Yeah. So you have like each of the binomials. So one's on top of each other because it has to go down, and the other one's beside. But there was a shortcut yesterday. Now, none of you have to use it. None of you have to remember it. But it is a really good thing to keep in mind. I'm going to write it up here because maybe just a few of you are using it. Whenever you square a binomial, which maybe, Andrew, if you memorize this, I don't know, sometimes it's harder to memorize and it's easier to have like just a process that you use. But whenever you square a binomial, you're always going to have a square, and then a double, and then a square. Squared, double, squared. You square the first, you double first, last, and then you square the last. Now, for some of you, this just looks way too complicated. You're like, give me the arrows, give me the table. I got it. I'm going to keep on doing it the same way. I'm going to get it right every single time, as long as I do all of my arrows or all of my tables. There's a couple of you. Remember, you could have, if you like shortcuts, you could have squared the first, you could have doubled, and then you could have squared the last. And what that would have looked like is it would have been your 3x squared. This is where it's going to be dangerous, though. Your 3x and your 4. There's little multiplications by everybody. And then your 4 squared. So you would have had your 16. You would have had, if you did it very carefully, your 9x squared. And you would have had your 2 times 3 is 6 times 4 is 24. If you memorize the rule, you could go from here to here pretty quickly. But once again, it's dangerous. Sometimes multiplying is dangerous. 3 times 3 is 9. That got quite a few of you. That's why I gave you 2 trickier ones with numbers. So on number 4, I'm going to do the arrows just because that's where a few of us messed up on the last one. 4x minus y times 4x minus y is how you would have rewritten it. Can I show you guys the final answer and then go backwards? Did you get 16x squared minus 8xy plus y squared? Check the pluses, check the minuses, check the numbers. Did you get each and every piece? If not, can I fill in the arrows? Is that okay?
Yeah.
4x times 4x. Like the 3x times 3x. 16x squared, yeah? 4 times 4, x times x. Now what happens when I go outer? Is that a positive or a negative, first of all?
Negative.
Is that a positive times a negative? Good. So negative, just put the minus, and then be like, oh, isn't it just 4xy? It's weird, but yeah, 4 times x times y is 4x. It's weird, but it's true. How about inner? Positive or negative? Go ahead, right here. Negative times a positive is a negative. Now, could I do y 4x? Some of you do that. Could I have done that?
Yes. No.
But I could. It's true. But is it proper?
No.
No. What do we normally write first in an expression? The number. And then don't we normally do alphabetical order with letters?
Yeah.
So the y wouldn't go before the x. The x would go before the y. So the nice thing of that is all of a sudden, what was kind of confusing looks just like that guy. And then what's a negative times a negative? Right?
Yeah.
And then a y times a y is y squared. Now, where would a few of you guys get messed up? Negative 4 minus 4 is 0. I'm done. Ah! But wait, Andrew, did it go to 0 a second ago in this guy? Or was there a middle?
There was a middle.
So this one's not going to lose it either. It's going to stay and it's going to double. What's double negative 4? Negative 8. So maybe the squared double squared is a quick little squared double squared, squared double squared. Squared double squared is a way of remembering the inside. So guys, remember, the squared double squared is only true whenever you're squaring a perfect binomial. Now guys, was homework all this hard?
No.
Like all these numbers in front, you have to, no, look at him, he was nice.
Yeah, he was pretty nice to me.
Except, do you have your homework open? Do you have a colored pen out? Homework open, 3 through 10. Let's grade our evens real fast. I have them ready on the next page. Can you just look at number 3 real fast? Did any of you guys in your brains, just really fast when doing homework, did you just go x squared plus 64 and say, I got it, I'm done?
No.
No, you weren't supposed to, right? That's the mistake, that's the danger, you gotta avoid it. X plus 8 times x plus 8, squared, double squared. On the easy ones, I know some of you are trying mental math. You're telling me you're trying mental math. Ready? Squared, double squared. X squared plus 16x plus 64. Did you get it? X squared plus 16x plus 64. Squared, double squared. Now we're gonna, that's an odd. You could have checked in the back of the book. On the easy ones, the shortcut's nice if you get it. I square it, I double. What's 2 times 8x? 16x, and then I square it, 64. Ooh, can we do squared, double squared over here? The first even we're supposed to grade. You ready? Squared was not just. Got it? What would double be? Positive or negative? What would double be? Double 6 though. Squared, double, squared. What's my last squared? The pause. Do you have to be doing shortcuts? No. So let's go ahead and go grade real fast. You guys last night could have been using your distribution arrows. You guys last night could have been using your tables. Just like in our opener, you don't have to do the shortcut. You can do the table. You can do the distribution arrow. But if you do, remember from yesterday, always start by rewriting. Always start by rewriting. There is the shortcut, but rewriting will keep you away from the danger spot. Let me open the door. I know it's warm. Some of you guys are just like, man, you're killing me in here. And let's go ahead and grade 3 through 10. Evens, 4, 6, 8, 10. How'd you do? My people that were absent yesterday, when I come around to grade homework, if you didn't get it done, it's okay. Just say absent. I'll mark you down. I'll check it tomorrow, okay? If you made a mistake, talk about your group real quick and be like, whoa, I thought I had it.
I do. Okay, who's mom had cancer? Jeremy, I'm sorry. Every time I try to find a middle answer, so for this one.
Hey Andrew, do you know how you're missing that 24x?
Yeah, I do.
The rest of you guys, you notice how you missed the 24x, the middle, right? I need everybody to hold their homework spirals, powwow your groups real fast, and show that you're finding the middle term. Show that you're finding the middle. If you're not, check each other. Number 3.
Oh, 16? So find the x, like the x word, and then go straight to add, and then go straight to this one.
All right, back in your notes.
Yeah, -12.
Same section, still in section 7.3, there are 2 special products, the perfect square, squared, double squared. The perfect square, squared, double squared. That's the first one, we have one more. That's the first one, we have one more.
7.3?
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
That's why I like Iron Man. Iron Man, they don't watch the stream. No, I don't watch him.
It was mine. You get cancer.
Oh yeah. Actually, I want to share that. So I just should the test or the quiz.
Hold on. I want you guys to hold up for me your notebook that you're taking notes in right now because we're taking notes. Everybody on this side of the room, I've graded your homework already. You can put away your homework spirals. Composition books are open. Check it. We're supposed to be in our notes, composition book, and writing down what you see on the board as I'm making sure everyone's good with square, double square, okay? So comp book open, 7.3, we're just continuing on to find the second special guide.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I agree.
Why? Everest is scared of something. I told him to say it.
I just wrote skin off my thumb and I'm leaving.
Wait, he went up to you and said, you see me, right? Watch this, if I make this, I'm going to prep this, right? It got stuck right here. We are just It's funny to know it. I know it. I should bring up anything. You know,
Yeah, but he was like, I just like put in school.
And good writing.
No?
Oh yeah, I don't know any.
Miles.
He's so much better.
I have
No, yeah. We had an election party yesterday. Yes, you are.
Alright guys, thank you for letting me talk through with your classmates. Alright, my social focus back on into the front. Jeremy, Trey, Alexis, Andrew, it's okay. I was grading, I was talking through, I was trying to help people on the middle terms and other little mistakes they were making. As I walked around the room, the things that I kept seeing over and over again that you guys are trying to catch yourselves on from here on out, hopefully. The things that I see are mistakes when you have two numbers being multiplied. I see. Oh, unless it's helping them on the same thing. Mistakes on CNR, how to multiply 3x and 3x, like with, but I saw it all around the room. It wasn't just Kayla, it wasn't just Andrew, it was a lot of you guys. That multiplication of like 3x times 3x, or like 4x times 4x. It's just getting a pattern, getting ready, or being able to ace those ones that are just a little bit harder. I also saw some of you that are trying to do it with mental math, and as soon as you get to a harder one, you break down. And you miss it, so slow down. Make the table, make the graph. It's okay, and you can get the right answer every single time. Okay? But if the table is so easy to you, I don't mind you trying to use the shortcut as long as you can show me you can do it. So if I'm walking around checking homework, you don't have work. If I have a whiteboard and I say show me, you have to show me, or else you're not doing it right. Why are we so tough? Okay, here we go. You guys are looking at this student. How does this look different than the ones we were just doing? We should have already.
There's a plus and a minus.
There's a plus and a minus, whereas yesterday, wouldn't it have been a plus plus or a minus minus? Yeah, yesterday they were the same. And the reason we knew they were the same is because weren't they? All of homework. He's trying to help just guys work on the whispering. Work on the whispering. No, it actually is a struggle. I think today's, I don't know, younger generation, you guys are losing the ability to whisper. Yes, no, in all my classes. I'm like, I don't mind the whole helping thing. Like, it's okay trying to catch someone up. Except. Exactly. Whenever it's like, I am talking quietly, I'm like, I can hear your voice. Exactly. That's the point. Whispering is someone right here can hear me, not someone back there. Whispering is so quiet you don't hear. You guys see the difference? Yes. This is not. Okay. No, some of you seriously, it's just like you don't know how to whisper. Anyway. Stop the annoying, like, breathing. What was that? Anyway. It is spooky season. Okay. Coming back. Coming. No more. Oh. You just take it. And you take it. And you take it. It was like, it was over like 5 minutes ago. Anyway. Ready? All of home. Stop. Work. Had this. All of them were. They did a dangerous form in every single numbers 3 through 10. But because there was a square, that meant they were the exact same. This, guys, they are the exact opposite. And that makes all the difference. What was the pattern yesterday? Squared, double squared. 3 terms to the answer, right? Because the middle two could always combine. Those 2 boxes always combine. Those 2 distributions always combine. Squared middle, or no, sorry. Squared, what's the middle one?
The term in the middle.
Double. Yeah, put a term in the middle. You get a squared, then a double, then a squared. 3 answers. Here's the struggle. This guy, I wonder what's going to happen with him. I want you guys to go ahead and do 2 examples with me. Ready? Either with the distribution arrows or with the table. Either with the distribution arrows or with the table. I'm going to do a table just like I did first earlier. But you guys choose your way. Go ahead, write it down. You don't even have to follow the warm-up. Either with the table or the distribution arrows. Use it or do it your way. Okay, that's fine. I have a table ready. All right, Jonathan, now you're going to start falling behind if you don't pay attention. Okay?
I'll give you notes.
Well, but I want to see you try. Thank you. Okay, new pattern. I'm doing a table, but you can do the distribution arrows if you like that better. They're not the exact same. One's going to have a positive and one's going to have a negative. What changes? You can just start here, Armando. Armando, you can start here and you'll catch the next page in a second. What's going to change you? What's still going to be here? Okay, x squared. Do I still have a squared? Mm-hmm. What's going to be here? Ooh, I jumped. 0. Negative? Careful. Times.
Oh my gosh, we're back.
10 times 10. See it? Negative 100.
Okay.
So, do I still have a square root of the x's? Yep. Do I still have a square root of the 10s? Yep. But it's not positive anymore. It's a negative, because a positive times a negative is a negative. Now, what's going to go in my boxes, Alexis? You see it? What's here and here?
10.
10.
Mine.
X.
Yeah. Thanks, Trey. And then down here?
X. I mean 10. A negative 10.
Got it. Yeah, you don't use the table. I know. That's very cool. People who don't use the table, you're like, I don't know. Yesterday, I want you to get today. So we have the squared. Got him. We have the positive 10x. Got him. Negative 10x. Got him. And then we have the squared. What ends up happening when I write it out? Adrian, what do you see?
Zero.
Yeah. What's going to happen? Is it legal?
No.
It is legal.
I get a 0. It's legal to cancel out this time. I couldn't cancel out in last night's homework because they were the same sign. They combined. They doubled. But in tonight's homework, they're going to cancel. Now, here's the struggle. Didn't we say yesterday that you weren't supposed to get 2 answers or 2 terms? You're supposed to get 3. You were supposed to get the middle guy, right? Squared, double squared. But today, you're only, this could get tricky. Whenever we have a positive and a negative, and they're the exact same but opposite signs, they're always going to, they meaning the middle terms, are always going to cancel. Now, there is a really cool shortcut to that, but it's also super dangerous. Because if you start using the shortcut for this one, you might mess up your process in the other one. Oh, Danny, I saw you had a question. What's that one?
So can we ignore the middle term?
But you have to be careful. Because can you ignore the middle term in last night's homework? So if you start ignoring in one and you don't have the other one really, 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 really solid, you're going to start messing up either one or the other. So you have to remember they work differently. So when we have something like this, when we have a square, remember we're going to have a square, a double, and a squared. We have the middle term. But whenever we have a positive with a negative, check it. We're going to do more examples. You can always ignore the middle term. So, my distribution people. If you were to use distribution down here, careful. All of my ones last night that weren't squaring the numbers. Check it. What's 3x times 3x?
3x squared. 6, it's the number is squared.
Yeah, which is, Levi? 9x squared. You were getting it. I know, it's so easy to make 6 or to do 3. It's 9x squared. What's my outer going to be? A positive or a negative?
Negative.
A negative. What's the inside going to be? A positive. What's the last going to be? Negative y squared. But what's going to happen? Do you see it? It's going to happen every time.
Every single time.
Whenever it looks like that. When you have one positive and one negative. They're the exact same thing, but with opposite signs. So I couldn't write it like that. They're not the same, but they're almost the same. Hold on, I didn't get to write my answer for the last one. What was my final answer for this one down here?
X squared.
I know, our brains just do it, right? It's such a struggle. I think like half the class has made a mistake on that by now. So, regular method. I don't know, it depends on you. All of you are like choosing your own. But regular methods mean either table, what's the other one? Come on, half the class isn't using table. Alexis, what do you do?
Shortcut.
Yeah, the shortcut. The table or, can we do the arrows, is that okay?
Yeah.
Which is like foiling. Yeah. Okay, the table or the arrows. So we do like the table, that's your regular way. So we do like the arrows, that's the regular way. But there is a shortcut. Ready? The shortcut is squared minus squared. Squared minus squared. Or you could say square it minus square. That's a square. Because we could see that these are the exact same. Just a few of you like shapes better than variables. So if you see a box plus triangle and a box minus triangle, they're the exact same things going first, the exact same things going second. All I have to do is square that first one and square that second one, throw a minus in between. The shortcut's nice, it's just dangerous. The shortcut's nice, it's just dangerous. The shortcut for the last one. If I was to do that whole box triangle thing, just a few of you like shapes better than, that's okay, better than math. We could think of this being a box plus triangle squared. And we could do our pattern of, we have box squared, we have triangle squared, but that's not all. We have this double, right? So it's a little bit harder, so there's a little bit extra. And that's why this is the most dangerous one of the entire section, is that squared one. But if you guys aced it last night, you just have to remember how you did it and not forget and not start making the mistake that the older kids do. So we have the squared, double squared. Some of you are more word people than math or shape people, and that's okay. We have the squared, double squared. That's whenever we have what we call a perfect square trinomial. But we also have now what we call the difference of squares. The difference of squares. And that's when they're the exact same, but one's a plus, one's a minus. It's really cool because our outer and our inner are always going to cancel, which leaves us with squared minus squared. So dangerous though, when I show you this one, you'll start messing up the other one. Which one looks easier, number 1 or 2? 2? All right, let's do it then. If you were to do a table, wait. Can we shortcut it?
Yes.
Okay, shortcut is squared minus squared, right? So who's the first guy that gets squared? So I'm going to have, does it fit my pattern of squared? Yeah. X times x or x squared, got him. But how do I get the rest of it? Don't I also have my other guy? So how do I square? Come on. Those 3's are showing up over and over again. Rock it this time. No one make a mistake. What's 3y times 3y? Got him. Did the rest of you guys get it done? Dun, 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 dun. That's it? Yeah.
Yes.
Go. Get him. Don't make a mistake. Do the first. We already did it. He's waiting for you guys. Let's go. Catch up. You already did the first one.
Wow.
What? Nice. Okay, the rest of you guys catch up. Try the first one if you haven't yet. If you need to, do a table. If you need to, do the arrows. But if not, do a shortcut. Yeah, peek next to you, peek behind you, peek in front of you, peek diagonal. Are they all get the same answer?
Get the same answer.
A little part of check. A little part. 4k squared minus 16. Woo! Yay. Who got it? Stand up, give someone a high five. Go.
I almost did.
Oh, come on. I know more of you that got it than that. Come on. Give someone a high five. Stand up. Check it out.
I think I got it.
You guys ready to see something crazy?
I want to see something crazy.
Okay.
You look good.
The homework we already talked about. There's one more thing. Grab a seat. Good job. Sit down. I'm going to show you something that we just did could help us with mental math? How could something that we just did help us with mental math? What do you guys see on the board? What are we supposed to
Numbers.
do? Numbers, which one?
Multiplication numbers.
We have 26 times 34, right? Do you guys agree? Is there a way to rewrite these two numbers with parentheses to show the multiplication with maybe a plus and a minus? Yeah. Does anybody see that each of these are 4 away from the same number? 30 minus 4. And what's the other one? 30.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Kind of.
But you see it? 30 is in the middle, and it's 4 away from that one, 4 away from that one. I could rewrite. Well, how does that make any difference? This is a really nasty moving around. A really nasty multiplication problem. That just became easier. Easier? Nah, it's still gross. Well, hold on. Isn't this a difference of squares?
You can also use a calculator.
Ah, but what if you don't have one? And check it. Mental math. It was just
Oh.
not the only way to do it. It's just a way to do it mentally. What's 30 times 30? I don't know that. 92 zeros. Yeah. That's my square. What's my triangle square? 16. It's a minus in it. Seriously? Yeah. So I have 84. Now, maybe that would have been a little hard for some of you, but it's a lot easier than the, oh, nasty. You would have had to do this if you were doing it otherwise with a 4 and carry the 2, and 8 and a 10 and a 0, and an 8 and a 1 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8, 80. Okay, pause, time out. Is this the point of the section?
No.
No, it's just something silly at the very end. The point of the section is you're going to have 2 special products. Will you know how to multiply? We'll see you tomorrow. All right, cool kids, this is the homework. You can make sure on the way out the door, and I'll see you later, alligators.
In a while, crocodile. Yeah, Jeremy likes it.
Tony died.